Story Review. My name is Andrew Worcester, and today we are doing a romance movie because everyone needs romance once in a while. And this right now is the number 2 movie on Netflix. It's called The Lost Husband with Leslie Bibb and Josh Duhamel, written and directed by Vicky Wright, who's done a couple of short films, and I think this is her second full-length movie. It's the first movie that I've seen by her at all. It's based on a novel. She did the screenplay for it. And this isn't really the kind of movie I will search for. It's not the kind of movie that's on top of my list to see. But when I took a look at it, I really enjoyed it because the tone of it is really lighthearted, and the emotion of it and the tragedy of it isn't exploited just for a cheap melodrama. It really has kind of a laid-back feel that lets you set into the tone of the movie, which I really enjoyed from the beginning because it doesn't overly explain everything. It doesn't give you the full backstory right away, and it kind of gives you different pieces as it goes along. But that's okay because that's kind of the development of the story and the structure it's being told. And you're never lost, and you're never caring about knowing a little piece more. The more they give you, it's kind of a mystery as this person, Leslie Bibb is the main character. Her character's name is Libby in this story. And what it is with her is from the beginning, you see her driving from her mother's house, and she's going to live with her aunt on a farm. It's kind of a goat farm with chickens and all sorts of a rustic life outside of, she's in Texas. And she lives in the Houston city. This is going, an hour outside the city to the farmland. And what you find out is 6 months prior to this, her husband died in a car crash. And subsequently from that, she also finds that they were kind of a upper class family that were all upper class because they had so much debt. And so when the husband died tragically in the car accident, all the chips are cashed in and she loses her house. She loses all her possessions. So her and her 2 young kids under 10 and under, are forced to find a way to start over. And she's not used to really taking care of herself. It doesn't seem like she ever had a real job before that either. She's living kind of the socialite life, and that was all ripped from her. So she goes to live with her mother, who we find has a really dysfunctional relationship with her for 6 months, and she can't reset herself there. So that's when she goes to live with her aunt on the farm. At her aunt's farm is really when the beginning of the story takes place. The first 3 minutes or so is her coming from her mother's house, driving to her farm. So you don't really understand that's her mother right away. You don't really understand where she's going. You hear her tell the kids that we're going to Aunt Jean's house. And then from that point on, you're discovering little pieces about her life past that and kind of the tragedy in her head that she's trying to overcome. And we meet different characters. We meet Josh Duhamel's character, who's kind of a farmhand, who's the manager of the place as well. And you understand his tragedy as well. And it's not overspoken. There's not scenes where they just emotionally pour out their heart in some sort of purge. And I really like that because I feel in life we kind of mostly internalize our pain, and then until we get to know someone, there's bits and pieces that come out, and there's certain conversations throughout the movie that they have where you kind of understand that as well. And I really appreciated that tenor of that, with it not being just exploitive and melodrama just because they're trying to manipulate your emotion. And that didn't do that here. And I really appreciated them not going to that length. So it's a movie, like I said, it's number 2 right now on Netflix. If you're looking to score some points of sensitivity, it's certainly a movie to grab on movie night. You won't be disappointed. Like I said, it's not the movie I typically go to or seek out, but I saw it in the top list as I got to give it a chance. I did give it a chance, and I really enjoyed it as kind of a laid-back, sweet, with just enough heart in it, but doesn't force any issues. And to me, that's the main part of romance movies that I don't like, is that it forces the emotion on you. And this just allows the emotion to be there. And you can pick up as much or as little as you want, but it's certainly there for you to gravitate towards. So it's called The Lost Husband. Right now, it's on Netflix for everyone to watch worldwide. Number 2 right now, Leslie Bibb, Josh Duhamel. I appreciate you hanging around for the 5+ minutes here. And until next time, take care.